Friday, and I was scooping snow at 10:30, and I said, I ain't doing nothing Saturday. It's too cold. So I scooped Fred, everybody, done.
I'd like to bring to order the Clinton City Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. It's a regular session, 6:30 p.m. on February 20th, 2024 in the council chambers. Roll call, please.
Jack Gilfoy.
Present. Present.
Scott Miller.
Here.
And Bob Alexander.
Here.
You guys got any questions on the minutes from the past meeting?
I do not. The only thing that we'd already approve it, but just to make sure we're aware of for the minutes that the line for the Lions Club fish fries this Friday, 4 to 7. Probably put the cones up around 3:30.
Okay.
But since it's already been approved, but the site weren't known at that time and the time, so it is this Friday.
Okay. On 9th Street.
Yes. We'll just be using that drive side parking area.
Okay.
That long curb pickup. Other than that, let's see. Any other things need to be. Any corrections or additions? So
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from previous meeting.
I'll second it.
Got a first and second to accept the minutes from the past meeting as presented. Roll call vote, please.
Jack Gilfoy.
Yes.
Scott Miller.
Yes.
And Bob Alexander.
Yes.
At this time, does any citizens have any comments? Anyone in the audience? Does any of the board members have a comment?
No.
Nope, not this time.
Go on to claims. Any questions on the claims?
I will, Nancy, I want to compliment you. You've been doing this for a while, but your appropriation detail history, phenomenal. I don't know how you're getting that, but that's so much easier. I don't know if anybody else knows, department heads, I don't know if you really get the appropriation detail, but it's really, really very easy to follow, understand, and however you done it, I like it.
Well,
Just hopefully you can keep getting it.
Patty was a big helper.
Oh,
Well,
Patty.
Patty, yeah, I just put it together.
Well, thank you, Patty, for finding that format. That's really easy to follow. Other than that, I see all the department heads have signed off except for Scott.
He's under the weather.
He's under weather.
He signed the individual claims.
Yeah. But he just
Yeah, I
hasn't-
did see those.
He hasn't got
Okay.
a chance to sign that yet.
Good. Gonna make a motion to accept the claims as presented.
I'll second.
Got a first and second to accept the claims as presented. Roll call vote, please.
Jack Gilfoy.
Yes.
Scott Miller.
Yes.
And Bob Alexander.
Yes.
And under new business, we published it in the paper. There's a 500 block of Moore Street. There's some property that the city owns we wanted to get rid of.
Okay.
We had one
Bid.
bid.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. This bid is from Josh Washington. It says his address is 135 North 10th Street, Clinton, Indiana. And also Sarah Washington is listed on here. Bid is for $800 for 2 lots directly across from 534 North Street.
Okay. Does he have a contact?
He has, yes, he has phone number information for him, and I don't know if that's his wife. I'm getting my guess it's his wife.
Right. Or, yep, both numbers. Too.
He also says on there he would be interested in the contact information for the lot beside them, so I don't know what that, if he's got a lot
Oh, on 10th.
next to him that maybe
Okay.
is vacant, I don't know.
If we accept this bid, I'll notify him tomorrow and ask him what lot he's talking about.
So we own those lots.
Mm-hmm.
They're
clear.
Redevelopment.
Yeah.
Clear.
No liens or anything on it?
No.
Tied into them?
I give the information to DJ, and he's the one that made the
Okay.
newspaper article.
Okay. And we publish to the highest bid.
Yeah.
So, only one bid came in. It was notified throughout the proper ways of allowing people to know that we got a bid for selling some lots, so everybody's aware. Sorry we don't have that everyday newspaper, so it'll all be in there, but there's plenty of websites to look at and other sites to go to. So I accept the bid for $800 for the two lots directly across from 534 North Street.
I'll second that.
Got a first and second to accept a bid from Sarah and Josh Washington for $800 for 2 lots in the 500 block of North Street. Roll call vote, please.
Jack Yelfoy,
Yes.
Scott Miller,
Yes. and
Bob Alexander.
Yes.
Next, Eric Smith is here from HWC, city engineer, and he has some updates on projects, and then he's got some information on the second phase of the community crossing project on North 9th Street.
I'm going to go ahead and start off with the bids, if you don't mind, then I'll follow up with some project updates. But on February 5th, we opened bids for Community Crossings project, which was round 2 award from last year, which is essentially the second phase of the 9th Street project from Anderson to Knowles. We received 3 bids. They range from a low of $1,100,040.90 to a high of $1,295,500. The low bidder was Foyt's, Paris, Illinois. We've reviewed the documents and would recommend city entertain an award to Foyt's. Per the Community Crossings Program guidelines, all of the documents and agreements between the city and the contractor and the award need to be submitted to them by March the 3rd, which is a Sunday, so essentially we need to have it in by March 1st, next Friday. So I think the additional documents were sent to the mayor today for signature. So the only action really needs to be taken is to accept and make an award to Foyt's if you so choose.
We make a motion to accept the offer from Foyt's and award the bid for the second phase of the 9th Street project.
I'll second.
Got a first and second to award the second phase of the 9th Street project to Foyt's. Roll call vote, please.
Jack Yelfoy,
Yes.
Scott Miller,
Yes.
and Bob Alexander.
Yes.
The NDOT paperwork has been emailed to you. This is the contract, the agreements that were sent to the contractor that they have been signed, so there's just a place for you to sign.
Okay.
And that'll all go in with the other documents.
Did I get to them?
And then here are the original bids for your records.
Okay.
With that, we had bid the water portion of the second phase of 9th Street separately because it was easier to get that out of the way and be done with that portion ahead of the work. Plus, it was not eligible for funding from Community Crossings. So B&T is working on that phase now. We gave them until the end of April to complete that. So the contractor for Community Crossings was known that their work area wouldn't be clear until the end of April, but they can start earlier if B&T is out of the way, and I suspect they're going to be done sooner. So we'll get a pre-construction meeting scheduled with Foyt's. At that time, we'll get a understanding of what their schedule is. The bid documents were similar to the first phase in that the contractor has to keep all businesses open and provide access for patrons and the business owners to make entry. That there's always going to be a point when they're pouring sidewalk right in front of each business that there could be a little disruption, but we've worked with Foyt's. I think they'll do well in working with the business owners to keep access possible. We gave them in the bid documents till the end of the construction season, basically when the paving plants close, the end of November for completion. I would anticipate this phase going quicker than the first phase because we're not digging near as deep and there's not near as much storm sewer. The storm sewer stops just a little bit north of Oak Street. So I would anticipate a shorter duration. If they're not done by Labor Day, same requirements as last year, that they have to finish up what they're doing a week ahead of the festival, and then they can start back up after the festival's over.
Okay.
The only other update I have is on the wastewater. We should hear on the Ochre grant, I believe, next week. And then once we know if that grant's been awarded, then we can start scheduling the time to get that bid and the financing with SRF. Right now, SRF is planning to have us do a closing with them in their Q1, which is July through September, probably July or August. So we're probably looking at bidding that in May. So, I think that's it.
And while you're up here, I just kind of, you have any updates on the well? What situation we're doing with that?
Yeah, actually, I met with Leonard, Cindy, and Bass and Logan out there Friday. The problem is that the well number 1 does not have enough pressure available to fill the tank, so they've not been running it. We tried to get a smaller well, or Bass and Logan tried to get a smaller well down the casing to get closer to the area where the screen is, but the casing is so crooked they were not able to get even a narrower well. So they're going to look at options to get more flow out of that one and be able to fill the tank. Long term, they're thinking that one may need to be replaced, but it's less of an urgency if we can get well number 2 back up and running. Right now, they are only running off well number 3. So we directed Bass and Logan to get well number 2 cleaned, and then the only other issue is the controls need to be looked at so it can run in automatic. Right now, it's only hand operation. So the goal is to get well number 2 up and running, hopefully within a month.
And this is all mechanical, nothing to do with drying the wells.
No.
That
And
was a big thing on TV.
I talked to Bass and Logan and asked their opinion. I said, is any of this drought related? And he said no. He said the static water level, while it's changed a little bit, even with the dry conditions last year, it was not of any significance to say the wells are going to go dry. So.
Okay, just wanted to clear that and make
Yeah.
sure we have it.
If we get number 2 running, then we can get a better plan for how to address number 1.
Okay, thank you, Eric.
And a wiser time. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Eric. Okay, if nothing else, then I need a motion to adjourn. Unless you guys have something else.
No?
Mhm.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Council meeting will
Second.
start in 10 minutes.
That's crazy. The appropriation.
Uh-huh.
Wow, I like that.
Stand up? You ready to stand up and do it, or?
Yeah. I'd like to bring the city council meeting to order. It's a regular session on February 20th, 2024 in the council chambers. Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nancy, will you do roll call, please?
Yes. JT,
Here.
Chuck.
Here.
Copeland, and Dean Strom.
Present.
Paul is not here, and Bob Alexander.
Here.
Any you gentlemen have questions on the minutes of the past meeting?
I just want to note one correction on the motion to adjourn. Wasn't by the mayor, only by someone at that end of the table. I don't remember who.
I think it was Bob.
I think it was Bob, or was it Paul? I think it was.
The adjourn I did.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
Bob. I'm
Bob.
sorry.
Just to make that correction. Because the mayor can't make a motion to adjourn.
I can ask for it.
That's all. Other than that, I'll make the motion that we pass the minutes.
I'll second it.
I've got a first and second to pass the minutes as presented. Roll call vote, please.
J.T. Walker,
Yes.
Chuck McCaroni,
Yes.
Dean Strom,
Yes.
and Bob Alexander.
Yes.
At this time, are there any citizens or anyone in the audience who'd like to make a comment? If not, does any of the council have anything that they'd like to say at this time? Okay, and I don't have anything. Next, asking that you have received financial reports.
Make a motion that we have received the financial report.
I'll second it.
Got a first and second that the council has received the financial reports for review. Roll call vote, please.
J.T. Walker,
Yes.
Chuck McCaroni,
Yes.
Dean Strom,
Yes.
and Bob Alexander.
Yes.
Okay, as you gentlemen remember, we have purchased a new vac truck for the wastewater plant. And the Board of Public Works and Safety were in agreement that we needed to go ahead and move forward and purchase this piece of equipment. But the bond bank would like also for the council to sign a resolution, which would be 2024-2, where they have approved and are aware of the financing of this vac truck. I sent everybody the 2 pages. I think it tells you how much we were financing, and it gives you a schedule of the payments. And I made up a sign-in for a sheet, if adopted, so we can sign this. And Scott Craig has been working on this to make sure that everything is done up here so we can secure the financing.
Make a motion to put approval of the vac truck, resolution 2024-2.
I'll second. Flip a coin.
So, did Dean second?
You can choose Dean or Chuck.
Either one, your choice. Okay, I have a first and second to approve resolution 2024-2 concerning the financing of the vac truck for the waste treatment plant. Roll call vote, please.
J.T. Walker,
Yes.
and Chuck McCaroni,
Yes.
Dean Strom,
Yes.
and Bob Alexander.
Yes. I'm gonna pass it over to Nancy, Mayor.
Yes,
About
please.
this.
If you would, Nancy, make a copy of that and put it in my mailbox, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, next, Dean has some information on the ADA.
Okay, council, last month I talked to you about the 5-year, the annual report that we must file with ADA, both the NDOT as well as the Great Lakes region which we're under, and mentioned that we had to provide a list of intersections identified by ADA as well as our own ordinance that we passed back in 2014, the enactment of the standards and feasibility ordinance. That was, I believe, ordinance 8/2014-1. Then we came back in December 2015 with ordinance 12/2015-4, where we amended that and we identified high traffic areas as those areas close to and adjacent to churches, schools, nursing homes, hospitals, business district, and governmental buildings. ADA has pretty much identified the same group of intersections, and they issued part of our directive this year that by March 31st of this year, the city must provide a list of all compliant and non-compliant ADA ramps in the high traffic areas. So you have before you a report of those findings that I went around in those areas so designated. And I have before you tonight that report, which will be a part of the long-term 10-year program, as well as our 2024 report to NDOT and ADA. As I noted last month, excuse me, and I put a note in there this month, of the 325 ADA ramps that we have in the community, 196 of those are already in high traffic areas. I've given a copy of this to Councilman Alexander to review, and he noted that Hillcrest would also fit into that area, so I added that. And what the report shows, it shows the location in your first column of the streets that intersect, and then whether the ramp is compliant or non-compliant. Basically, there are about 6 intersections on this list that if we were financially able to address with the ADA ramps, would be almost all of our high traffic areas would be covered. So again, that speaks well of this administration tackling this program since 2012, and through the various programs that was identified last month as the CSO project, the Safe Walks to School, the Park Walk. Those programs were instrumental in bringing a lot of these intersections into compliance. Again, this is an unfunded mandate that we're abided or forced almost to abide by, because Jack mentioned to me earlier today that he heard of one community that was turned down on funding because they were not ADA compliant. They did not have an ADA plan. We have all those tools in place, and as I mentioned in the last paragraph, it is my suggestion to the council that we continue doing what we have been doing as funds and projects become available where we can address some of those intersections. I discussed with our city attorney those 2 ordinances as mentioned in the report, and possibly the need to amend the standards and the ordinance of 2014 that was mentioned, and he's going to review that. So if he finds that yes, we need to do that, then he'll be bringing back an ordinance to amend that next month. And if that is so, and we pass that, that'll complete our program, hopefully for this year, as it pertains to intersections in high traffic areas. Again, a town of this size and the resources we have, I think it's been a commendable job, and I give that credit, that man down there, Jack. He saw the vision, and we've got the program well in hand. So out of 325 with 196, that's a pretty good score. Mm-hmm. Just a heads up that we are working, Jack and I are working on a grant, hopefully that will provide some funding from a couple of sources to replace a piece of equipment down at Sportland Park that is inoperable due to its age. It was put in 2000, and it's just about worn out. It's a safety concern. So we're trying to address that, and I mention that because I received another directive, not a directive yet, it's just a heads up, that probably by July, late to summer, there'll be another directive come from ADA through Department of Justice mandating that we have special needs playground equipment in all of our parks. And it excludes the swings. If Cindy was here, she could tell you, one swing, a handicap swing, cost $1,000. And the last one she bought, she paid a little over $1,000, she tells me. And when she opened up the carton it was in, there were no chains. That was another $300 or $400. So that tells you just one piece. And we have those special needs swings in all 4 of our parks. But this survey, that if it comes out this summer, excludes swings, unfortunately. The $12,500 we're asking for to replace that equipment down there, I don't think will even come close to purchasing a handicap or special needs piece of equipment. We'll look at it, and maybe if so, we could get some piece of equipment that would at least address our most heavily used park, Sportland Park, and place that in there. But I just want to give you a heads up. But that's it, guys, on the report that you have. I think everyone of you have a copy of the report along with the mayor. Have any suggestions or questions, I'll try to answer them or get you the answers. But again, I think we're doing above what's expected with the funds that we have. And I don't know of $1 that's come from ADA, has it, Jack?
No.
For any of these. It's all been through programs. So that's it.
Well, it's just like the fence we're replacing at the dog park right now. The south end and the west end were all chain link, and it was bad. And we were trying to figure out how we were going to get the money to fix it, and there's some people that Dean's been working with, and he called and they paid the whole thing. So we tore it out today. By tearing it out, I think we saved about $1,000.
Yeah.
So Cindy's crew tore it out today. They're supposed to be here tomorrow and set the posts, be back Friday and put the fence up. So the dog park is closed right now naturally, but as soon as that gets done, that'll be something that, and it was costly.
$6,000.
Yeah, $6,000. So
The check should be here next week, I think.
yeah, so we appreciate that donor, and that's all I have.
Any questions on it?
I have a question. Can I ask a question? About ADA, do they normally not donate any money, or you can't?
Do what?
ADA doesn't normally donate or make a donation or anything?
They're good at giving you directives and mandates, but no dollars. That's why I asked Jack. He's not received $1.
Like CSOs.
Yeah, same with CSO, yep.
Yeah.
Mandate it, you gotta come up with the money.
Yeah, right now about $5 million. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, do you guys have anything else? If not, I need a motion to
Motion
adjourn.
adjourned.
Second.
I don't know.
Wait, I got 2 people.
I'll get